Hi, I'm Phil Aston, and this is Now Spinning Magazine. Last month, I did a channel update where I said I was at the crossroads, a place to ponder and decide how I was going to take Now Spinning Magazine forwards based on everything that it's achieved and where it's going and what I love doing. And I think part of that focus is the fact that if I talked about the names and the subjects that brought in thousands of viewers, then I'm at a stage where this is my full-time job. And so it brings in a certain amount of income. And if I then start to talk about something that's very new, that doesn't have much of an audience, then it doesn't get very many views, and my income goes in the opposite direction. And I talked about how the best way was to balance this, and I was kind of scheduling things. I'm going to talk about, a ranking video about a big band, and then I was going to fit in something that was lesser known, and then put something else in them. So it was like a roller coaster. And trying to think the best ways of doing this, and doing the interviews, and doing the things that I really love to do, and feeling that the channel and the website and the whole project is at a point where it can help lots of new bands and new music. And without new bands and new music, and that's what I should be doing, like any music portal, is helping to support new art, new creativity, not just talking about the past, which is lovely because I'm from the past. I've got a large past because of the age that I am. So yeah, I love to talk about that, and everyone loves my stories, but I want to try and use that influence to introduce people to new bands that even I haven't even been introduced to at the time of doing this video, if you like. And so I was getting myself in a bit of a mix of about this, and as I said, I was at the crossroads, and then I had lots of comments. Lots of people reached out with what they thought about this and what they thought about what I do here. And there was a couple of comments in particular that really resonated with me. And in a way, they've changed everything. One person just reached out and said, Phil, the introduction that you have on your website and on the YouTube channel is just perfect in summing up what this is all about and how it helps. And basically it says at the top of the YouTube channel, imagine meeting like-minded friends for a couple of beers and talking about music you've discovered or recently bought or new old music or whatever else. And that basically is Now Spinning Magazine. That's the image I have of it, is that we're a group of mates just talking about music, having a few beers after work. That's basically it. It is rock-centric because that was the first genre I grew up with. But I talk about soul music and classical music with Sue, and blues and jazz and funk and everything, all points in between, because I like so much now because I'm an older person. And that's my... It's a problem that my generation have, it's taken us decades to like so many different genres of music. Whereas young people now will go to a festival and there'll be a pop act next to a rock band, next to a metal band, next to someone playing jazz, and it's just music. And again, because of, young people, the way they stream things, it's just genres just melt away and become a blur as it's just music. I think, the trouble with the way I grew up it had to be within these parameters or I didn't go there. Now I go everywhere. So as I've said so many times, that I don't really know what I don't like anymore. And if I don't like it, it's probably because I'm not in the right frame of mind and I just haven't given it enough chance. But the key thing is here that it's all formats. It doesn't matter whether it's CD or vinyl, and it doesn't matter what genre it is, and it doesn't matter when the music was released, whether it was released decades ago or just 2 minutes ago. I just want to feel that I can talk about it and hopefully bring people together in a positive way, and that's what I do. But the other comment was when I was talking about how do I do this, how do I kind of juggle the programming so that I can have thousands of views because I've talked about Black Sabbath or something, and then when I bring in an interview or a lesser known act, obviously that's going to bring in less views, and all these things affect the money I earn from YouTube advertising, this is what I do now. I do Now Spinning Magazine as my sole form of income. So I was working out, how do I do this? Because sometimes it can make a huge difference. It can make a difference of like, £500-600 a month or something. I think this comment was, Phil, if you do what you love, you're a rich man. And that really resonated with me, because you have to take a step back and not look at things monthly. You have to look back through a lens of time over a long period of time and see how all of these kind of peaks and troughs level off, really. Because these two comments about doing what you love, and the fact that I know that some people just come in here and they watch the odd video and you disappear. It doesn't matter. But so many other people, for instance, there's 97,500 people viewing the channel on a monthly basis, and there's about 25,000 people who subscribed. And then there's people in the communities on Patron, on the WhatsApp groups and Facebook group and all the rest of it. And there's some people who just are there all the time behind the scenes doing stuff and helping me, and just absolutely watching and listening to everything that I put out there. And the music and mental health series, which I've kind of nervously pushed out more and more, but each time I do it, it becomes more and more popular. And how many people have come to Now Spinning Magazine because of that series. My dad died when I was 25 in 1985. He was 56. I saw the age of 56 as being like a brick wall, that I couldn't imagine myself ever being older than that. I just couldn't. It was like something that was just ahead of me that was never going to get out of the way. And I was in a band called Tantrum, and Paul Cook was the drummer, and he's the same age as me, and his dad died when he was 56. And both of us just couldn't imagine life the other side of this number. And as the number got closer, and then I became 56, I was convinced that was going to be the last year I'll be here. And I know other people have felt like this when they've lost their dad or their mum. And for Paul, he said the same, and we went through that. But a few years later, Paul sadly died of prostate cancer, which is another hit. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is that I have now lived 10 years longer than my dad. And it's really made me realise, again, not to forget this fact, because once I got the other side of that number, I just, in some ways, kind of carried on as I had done. And I need to not do that, because I am a rich man. I've got a lovely wife, and I've got 2 kids, and I've got this, and I do what I love. And I've roughly got my health, and I want to continue to do this. But I don't have to be anything other than what I am. And you may have noticed in the last few weeks since I did that video that I've done more videos which haven't been technically, through the eyes of the algorithm, great successes, because they haven't brought in lots of views. And I've got this, I get this memo from YouTube saying less subscribers are choosing to watch this video, which is their way of saying don't do those. Just don't do those. Well, I have done them, and there's no pressure now at all, because I'm just doing what I love to do. I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about an album I've had for ages, and yeah, it might be by a band that everyone knows. But I'm not going to group everything together the way I think, well, no one's going to know what this is. I'm going to group this together in a big clump of video. I'm going to talk about things, and even if it only gets a few views, I still think it's worth doing. As I said last time, it's like sowing seeds. Someone will find it. One more than zero. You know, if you got one person look at a video, that's one more than zero, isn't it? And who knows who that one person is? I know that's extreme kind of thing, but I think I'm happy to do this now, because I thought about it. Phil, you've lived 10 years longer than your dad. That's 10 summers he never had. And what would he be thinking if he looked at me now and I live a 15-minute walk from the beach, you know, and I've got Sue with me, and I've got two great sons, and I'm chasing algorithms or trying to get more views or more subscribers on this thing. You know, I think the way I'm looking at it now is what I've achieved is amazing. I started to take Now Spinning Magazine seriously 3 years ago, and the graph showing that how I got to where I am now is like a rocket. And I'm not going to chase that anymore. I'm just going to do what I do. There's some great YouTube channels out there, and absolutely wonderful stuff. But I started when I started. I didn't start when I was 25 or 45. I started when I was 63. And if I want a channel that's got like 100,000 subscribers, it could take me another 7 years. I mean, am I going to be chasing a number, you know, when I'm in my 70s? Is that going to be something to go after, chasing something like that? Or would I rather walk along the beach with Sue, with how many summers I have left? I think I know what my dad would want me to do. But I want to do this, obviously, as well. I want to talk about music and bring people together, and in a positive way, and introduce you to new music and talk about stuff you probably haven't taken off your shelf for a long time, and appreciating all the music we've got around us, everything we've experienced, and the stories, the tales, in all the shows that I do. All the regular shows are going to obviously carry on and everything, and all the new music. And I want to feel like, you know what, there's a new band out there. You know, they've gotten a CD out. I'll talk to them. 25 people, they'll all be their mates who'll probably tune in and watch. But does it really matter? Because I've got thinking about a granular level about, so many views and how much that's worth in money. It's the bigger picture. It's the bigger picture, as that comment said. I'm a rich man because I do what I love, and everything else will be fine. Because and this is the same for any of you out there who are thinking, I could do that. Do it, but don't listen to the gurus telling you what you should do and how many videos you should upload. I might upload 7 videos next week, because I'll be inspired to do it, and it'll be effortless and it'll be fun, and I won't even notice I've done them. And the following week I might do one, might be a long one, and I'll put a lot of thought into it and arrange it and everything, and that'll be cool. And I'll do it because it was effortless and it was fun, not because I felt there was something telling me I had to do it. And that's the difference. And if someone else is getting tens of thousands of new subscribers a month, fantastic. But that's them. That's their path. That's their journey, and that's something they do. And if you try and do that, you're trying to be them. Be yourself is the key thing. I think this might be good insight, because when I do these videos, I'm talking to people at so many different levels. I'm talking to someone who, what have I got around me? I've just done videos. I'm talking to someone who might be a fan of bad English, because I've just done a video on that. And I might be talking to someone who also has a YouTube channel, or someone who's in their 20s who's just, and sadly inheriting their dad's record collection because they passed away or something, and you've just found something like that. So I'm talking to so many people and so many so many different levels here. I'm aware of that. And one of the things that I thought about is when I talk about what it says at the start of the video, on the YouTube channel, sorry, about imagine it's a few friends sitting around a table having a few beers talking about music. It's actually less than that. When I do these videos, when I'm doing this now, a lot of the time I'm talking to one person. I'm just talking to someone who's a bit like me. Because if you try and imagine the kind of people you're trying to talk to, you'll end up like being at work when you go to work and you're doing a presentation or you're going for a job interview and you try and find out what kind of person they're looking for. So you adjust your personality to try and fit in with the people. And then we have colleagues at work, don't we? You know, we kind of mix in with them. We go to the lunch breaks and we go out for a beer afterwards, but we're not friends as such. We're kind of fitting in and we hold back, you know, a lot of what we're about. You know, we're wearing a mask, you know, in some ways. So you have to be careful that you're not trying to think, well, these are the people, this is my niche, these are the audience I'm trying to attract, so I'm going to try and be like them. Are you like them? Are you really like them? Are those the people you want to invite into your virtual little pub in your front room? Are they? Because really, who is the person hopefully you get on with the most? You really, when you think, I want to meet like-minded people, is you. You want someone you can talk to and say, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about vulnerabilities or, you know, stuff. I want to mention this record and not have someone laugh, or this is something that happened to me when I went to see. It's you, isn't it? And so that's where I am now. I am not pondering. I'm not at the crossroads. I'm talking to people who I'd like to see as friends having a beer, about music that I genuinely love and the power of music and how it makes me feel and how it has helped me through my life genuinely. Music is the healer and the doctor. I've said that phrase so often, and it's on a t-shirt, it's not on this one. But I really think it is. Music is universal. I remember being at the Munich Beer Festival in the late 70s, and we'd gone to the loo, and it was packed full of people from all over the world, and none of us could speak each other's language, and we'd all had a few beers. So basically we were kind of shouting out names like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, and then, oh yeah, it's universal. Music just opens up doors, and it's just a universal language of friendship and love, isn't it? And that's why the way I run this, all the comments are moderated by me, not because I'm censoring them, but I want everyone to feel like I feel. My skin is as paper thin as anyone else's, being a creative person. So I want people to be able to talk about, what else have I got around me? I haven't really. Any album, any kind of music, and feel that they can talk about it and open up their heart to it. And you've seen, those of you who come to this channel a lot, how big some of the comments are. And some people, especially on the music and mental health ones, are really opening up. And if you're in the WhatsApp groups, you'll know exactly what that's like. People talk about everything, and they can, because it's safe. And there is no snidey remarks or anything. People feel comfortable and safe, like a few close friends sitting around a table having a couple of beers after work. And I'm feeling good. I'm getting over a bad cold, as you can probably tell from my voice. But I'm feeling good now. I feel that I'm going to feature and interview whoever I want to. I'm going to talk about wherever I want to, but I'm going to come at it from the point of view that whatever I do, it's because I genuinely love the subject and feel that I want to share something with you because of how it's touched me. And I'm not chasing any analytical algorithm thing at all. I am a rich man because I'm so lucky to do what I love. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of your support. And many of you have helped with which will be my new Mac fund, which I've reached the target I needed to reach. So videos are going to actually be so much easier to actually create anyway. But thank you, all of you. Take care. I want to say all my love to your friends and your families, and thank you so much. This has been a fantastic journey, and this is just the beginning. And I'm really excited about where we head off to next. But it will be all the stuff we love done with that in mind. So take care. And if you do want to come a little bit further involved, then the Patron and YouTube route just gives you access to the private communities which you can join, which are loads of fun, and you can actually talk to people on a daily basis. And you can also meet us up via Zoom at our little pub called the Now Spinning Arms. You can also do that. So I just wanted to say that, but thank you. Take care, all of you, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon.